ChatGPT Canvas has had a complete makeover, and I'm going to show you a few different use cases for this app. Now, within the first 5 minutes of using this, I realized that this is not a tool for no-code developers or anybody like that. This is a tool for the everyday person. They are designing this so anybody can create apps on the go for personal use. So I created a math app. This was my first prompt. It wasn't my typical elaborate bolt.new prompt. It was create a gamified math app for 10-year-olds. Very simple. And in this chat mode, all I can see is my messages back and forth. So what I tell it to do and what it tells me it's done. And then the preview. But if I click the stop button up here, I can see all of the React code. I can make very simple edits. Again, even if I'm not a coder, I can add more questions in and then hit preview, and then it will add that to the questions. But again, this is not designed for developers, so you will never need to go and do any of this if you don't want to. So to create your first app, you're just going to hit the model section up here and head over to GPT-4o. And down here in the bottom left section, you've got View Tools and Canvas. Now we've got the Canvas tool selected, we can go ahead and tell it what we want it to create. And again, you don't have to prompt engineer. You could just tell it the thing you want to make and then iterate on the go. So I'm going to tell it to create an intermittent fasting tool that I can log my daily fasting hours for the week. So we could tell it other things like the color scheme and whatnot, but we're just going to let it do what it does. And then as soon as it's done, we're going to swap the model over to preview, and we don't have to look at this code anymore. Of course, if you want to edit anything specific, the code is quite clean. It's React. You can edit things like the title and things like that. You don't have to prompt it and wait for it to do it. But on the initial stage, we're going to let it finish doing what it's doing. We can see it's adding the days of the week. It's adding the on-click features, and now it's doing the functions. So that's done, and we can hit preview, and again we can just stay in this preview model now that we're in here. So Monday hours, let's say 20, and let's see what happens when I hit log. Okay, it's logged it. So weekly fasting hours, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Now I've made this tool. But what if I want to make changes to it, make iterations? Let's say, let's amend the UI. Let's make it more fun and better. And let's see what it does. So while it's editing, you can't see the code. You can always go to stop and then head over to the code. And as I said, anything you want to change, you can change simple things like this and not have to wait for it to edit the entire code to change it. So I can say, I can change this H1 now to IF tracker and head over to preview, and it's changed it for me. So no errors, no issues. It does everything you need to. It might take a bit longer, but that's because in the back end it's correcting all the errors. So let's push it a bit more. Let's add a feature to track my calories for the week. Just gonna say day to day to be safe. Day to day, and export as a PDF. Let's see if it can do that. Oops, a PRD. I don't know what that is. As a PDF. And it says it's added the calorie tracker alongside. Not my idea of alongside, but it's just a prompt to fix it. Let's see what happens. There's quite a few values I'm gonna have to enter, but let's just see what happens. Just take these. Okay, let's log that. Nice. It's got the total. Oh, total calories, average calories. Okay, let's see if export works. It says cannot preview your code. The error, okay, so we do get errors. An error occurred while trying to run the intermittent fasting tool. Fix bug, let's see. We've got this console down here. So I think they're doing their best to democratize coding and building things, and they're really trying to make it as simple as possible, even the language. So down here you can clear the console or close it. I'm just going to close it. Wait for it to finish fixing what it's fixing. I'm not sure if it's going to allow me to export as a PDF. It says it's fixed the issue. And I've got to put those in again. Yeah, so I'm trying to export it as a PDF and it's not letting me. Let's see if we can fix this, or if this is not something we can do in the console. It is not letting me export as PDF. Please. It looks like you cannot access the console unless there's an active error. So let me hit stop and see. Let's just give it this. Let's see if it's adamant that it's fixed it. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to work, and it's not offering any other options for fixing it. It's just saying, I've done it, I fixed it already, it works, it should work. But let me know if it doesn't. Let me just tell it one more time, it doesn't work. And I think it's going to maintain what it's saying. Okay, okay, let me update the document with these fixes. Stay tuned, that's good. One thing I will say is a lot slower than I'm used to. But again, I have to remember that it is fixing things in the back end. So what I'm seeing is a product of it going back and forth with itself. I'm going to try this one more time. Let's see if we can export from this console. No, I don't think that works. So one limitation, but nothing major. You don't always have to export things. You might just want to make something that you can use in the console. And because it's ChatGPT, when you come away from it and you close it, you come out, you make a new thing, you go back in, it's right there on the side, and you just have to open it back up and go to preview. So initially I thought this was a React app. It's actually just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So anything that you build, you can just copy and paste directly into a HTML snippet on something like WordPress, and it's going to show up. But it's not always written in HTML, so this one is React. So you can't just copy and paste this into a HTML snippet. It's not going to work. So that would be the only thing I would suggest when you're prompting, is to tell it whether you want it in HTML or in React. So let's tell it specifically to create a React app. 9 different lessons. Allow me to tick off lessons as I go. Throw some confetti whenever. A colourful large bold cards. Crad. let's see what it does. Today's lessons app. So it's importing the React components. It's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, because I wanted 3, 6, 9 cards. I wanted it to show up really nicely. Cool. It's done the thing. Today's lessons completed. Show confetti, and let's go check it out. Nice. Cool. I wanted a checkbox. I don't want. Yeah, we don't need to be grammatically correct. I said crads and it's still done it. So, you know, I don't want it to have completed buttons. I want a nice, I want nice checkboxes. So again, you don't have to be creating apps that you need to export or deploy or do anything like that. If you're creating personal apps to use in your classroom, at home, for yourself, for your personal fitness or anything like that, you can just have it in your normal chat app. Now this is looking really cool. And this is a matter of prompts. So my initial prompt, that's 1, my second prompt, 2, 3. 3 prompts. 3 prompts to get something like that. Bad spelling and all, it done it. And then I told it I wanted checkboxes and the React component. When did I say it? I said it in the first one. And then it took away the color, and then I told it to make it colorful again. And you can just keep iterating to get it exactly how you want it. Let's make a bold pop-up that appears at the bottom of the screen when all lessons have been completed. Let's also add a timestamp log for when each lesson is completed. So this is perfect for creating single use and personal apps. You can just keep iterating to get it exactly how you want. You can go back to the code section and edit it yourself. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just test it out. You can test as you go, improve the UI. It looks great. The errors get managed and sorted out. It does what you've asked it to do, so completed at, and the time and the date. This is amazing. This is amazing. So one more thing I'm going to test out is to see if we can do things with sound. So we know we've got the React component, we've got animations, we've got all of those things. I've not really seen much things with sound. So now I'm going to get it to create a simple game and see how it does with that. Alright, so view tools, canvas, create a gamified animated musical memory game which plays a sound on a colored, let's say colored button. The user has to copy the pattern. I'm sure it understands the concept, but I really want to make sure let's ensure it has a nice, smooth, colorful UI, and the sound has a volume toggle. So let's test that out. React button card slider motion audio. Nice. Wait, audio sound 1, sound 2. I think it wants me to replace those. Let's see. I think it might just be placeholder sounds, not actual sounds. Game status, musical memory game. Let's see. No sound. No sound. It wants me to import those sounds. So that's the only thing. So we're not exporting PDFs. Let me try and tell it. Can we add placeholder sounds? Are there any libraries we can import for this? Let's see. Oh, okay, let's see. We can absolutely add placeholder sounds to keep things simple and fast. We can use libraries like tone.js. Oh, it's telling me to install it. I wonder. Ooh. And wow, okay, this is actually quite interesting. So let's run through what it's done. It says, it's given me the steps. It says to install howler.js. It says run the following command in your project. I'm not sure how we do that in here. or if I'd have to take the code, do that and put it back in, I'm not sure. Install, I'm going to just tell it, can you do it, and see what it says. Update the code to use Howler.js, replace the current audio implementation with Howler. Here's how the updated play sound function and sound configuration could look. It's giving me the code snippet. And then it's actually said download or use free placeholder sounds, and it's given me the links to the platforms, royalty-free sound platforms. And then it's given me further instruction. So it's given me a few different options, and then it says why use Howler.js, smooth and consistent playback across browsers. Okay, let me know if you want me to integrate this fully into your code, or recommend specific sounds. Please integrate fully and choose the best sounds for this game. Let's, fingers crossed, it does it. Okay, what does it want to connect to? Wow, okay, so it's connecting to freesound.org, the thing it's suggested for me, and I can see that it's getting access to a specific file, an MP3 file. I'm going to hit always allow. Oh, that's a shame. I really thought it was going to do that. Let me tell it, I cannot hear the sounds you imported. If you are unable to hear the sounds, it might be due to one of the following reasons. Cause browser autoplay restrictions. My sound is definitely on. Okay, would you like me to implement these fixes for you? Yes. Let's just see if it can do this. Because I thought it was my headphones, but it's not. No, still not playing. Oh, that's a shame. Let's see. But it did say it downloaded, it connected to Freesound. Let's see, can we add the sounds you downloaded from Freesound? Yeah, no, it wants me to do this, and there is no directory. So this is where it not being connected to GitHub is the downside, because you can't do anything beyond making the apps in the browser. But this is still quite amazing, the fact that you can do this. Again, for creating personal apps, you just have to know its limitations, but you can create all kinds of different things that you need and can use within ChatGPT. At the moment, both the React and HTML apps that I've made are not working on the phone, but I am able to pull up the chat on my phone and see the code and make edits, so I can talk to ChatGPT and tell it to make edits. But when I hit preview, it doesn't load on my phone. So this is something that they're probably going to change in the future, because we couldn't actually see it in the console before. So in future, I definitely look forward to being able to create these apps on the go and use it from within our phone, not having to export it, connect it to anything else, just literally opening up ChatGPT and using it. Another thing is that we can search the web and attach files. And of course, you can use that feature as a method of research for the thing you're building. Quite an intuitive tool. Again, a game changer for the everyday user of ChatGPT, completely trying to make this accessible to, again, the everyday user. If you found this video useful, drop a like, comment, and subscribe for the next.